Welcome to WorkSpan TV. I'm Marcia Rhodes for WorldatWork, and today we're discussing the role senior leaders play in total rewards. And with me are Donna, Kelley, and Elisabeth Lecavalier. Welcome, ladies. Elisabeth, what role should senior leaders play in total rewards?
Senior leaders in our organization need to be seen as not only grasping the intent of policies, practices, and programs like total rewards, but they also need to be seen as modeling the right leadership competencies that go with that. For example, in the area of recognition, they need to be seen as not only understanding what should be recognized, but actually recognizing it themselves, and also encouraging those same behaviors in their own managers so that the impact is seen right through the organization. Now, those are easy things to say, but slightly more difficult to do.
And how did you go about engaging your senior leaders?
Well, let's just say at the outset, they weren't totally warm to the idea. In fact, we saw a number of blank faces around the leadership table. Our initiative started as a result of an employee engagement survey that we'd done in 2008. These surveys always provide you with very fruitful information about the pulse of your organization, but at the same time, they provide you with very interesting information about your leaders. And in our case, on the total reward side, we knew that there were some areas that needed attention. And on the leadership side, we knew that there were some areas that needed to be addressed. Leadership credibility was at less than 50% satisfactory. Employees told us also that they didn't really believe that senior leaders saw employees as an asset to the organization. And since we're a high-tech company with knowledge-based workers, our employees really are our assets who devise our technology and are responsible greatly for our success. So to see that disconnect was really flabbergasting, actually. Around the table, there were several blank faces that we had such a result. And senior leaders were almost embarrassed into paying attention to that result at the same time. When our general manager decided that this situation was just not tenable and needed to be improved, he decided to build this as an initiative into our 2009 strategic plan so that every single senior leader had an objective, a personal objective, tied to rewards to address an area of total rewards, and they were responsible for reaching out to the organization to fix the problem, proverbially. It's true that there was an incentive tied to that, and you could say that, well, that's why they were engaged. But I have to say that through the experience, they very much warmed to it and saw that they could have an impact. They enjoyed encountering our employees in a focus group setting. And, senior leaders are very results-driven people. And when the proverbial penny dropped and they could see that they could have an impact, they really went for it, and they were highly motivated.
That sounds wonderful, but what challenges did you encounter and how did you resolve them?
Our first challenge was the response from the senior leaders and the resistance to participate in this activity. However, the way we overcame that was support of the general manager and the statistics that showed us from the engagement survey that over half of the workforce did not feel the leadership team was leading the organization effectively was really a big motivator for them. Another challenge we encountered is we're a global organization and we have employees in multiple countries. We're in Canada, we're in the United States, we're in Ireland, and we had to bring all these groups together for focus group sessions. So we had some logistical challenges to tackle. We overcame those by using travel, sent the senior leaders to each of the offices in order to meet with the employees face-to-face in person for these focus group sessions. We also have a video conferencing system, so we were able to set up sessions between offices where we got employees from different parts of the world to work together on designing the solutions. One of the other challenges and the big challenges that we overcame was managing the expectations of the participants, not only the senior leadership team, but also the employees. The senior leadership team members had an expectation that HR was there to kind of do the work for them, and we had to manage that expectation by saying, no, this is your initiative, we're here to support you and assist you in it, but it's really your initiative to drive. We also had to manage the expectations of the employees by including some activities before they ever came to the session, so that they would know exactly why they were coming. They could be prepared to talk about performance management, recognition, benefits, and the challenges they're encountering in those areas, and have some solutions ready to bring to the table.
What are the top 3 outcomes and best practices?
For us, the outcomes were really the action plans that came from this activity. These were the suggestions that the employees brought to us through the focus group sessions and the senior leaders' action plans that they derived from those suggestions. We have launched a Career Corner website on a portion of our HR intranet site, where employees can get career development guidance, they can get job descriptions, they can see career paths from where they are today to where they could be going. We have also launched a career swap, where employees are going to start changing jobs with their coworkers in other parts of the world, so that they can see how the other offices are operating and they get a better understanding of the overall challenges for the organization. And we've also launched, through a direct request from the employees, a peer recognition program, where the employees can actually recognize their colleagues in a real-time, real way for work well done, for partnering with them either through teamwork projects or additional support or assistance. And that's something that the employees were really craving.
WorldatWork just published a study on recognition, and we found that peer recognition is really trending up.
It's a big part of
Yes.
the overall workforce desires.
So now tell me about best practices.
One of the best practices that we found was critical is real-time feedback to the employees. After each focus group session, we sent the actual focus group notes to the employees within 1 hour of the end of the session. And the point there was to make sure the employees could see in concrete evidence that their suggestions had been heard, their opinions had been heard, and we had taken note of that. It also gave them one last chance to provide any additional feedback on the notes from the session, on the ideas presented, and to make sure that they knew we had heard them.
Elisabeth, what has been the overall impact of senior leaders' actions?
If you were to ask our senior leaders that same question, they would recall from 2009, oh, that was such a great time I had with the employees. All that to say is that they learned a lot and they enjoyed themselves. They referred to that today as, oh yes, that initiative. So I think that emotionally and intellectually, they've retained a lot of that, which was our intention too. They also work together better. So on the senior leadership side, I think that we've improved the functioning of our senior leadership team, but we can also measure impact statistically. And in 2010, we went back to our workforce to measure engagement. And of course, our survey looked at every single area of total rewards. So the 4 areas that we looked at in the focus groups, we could get a really good fix on, are we trending up from our 2008 score? And in every single area, we found that there was improvement. In one area, in fact, recognition, we were on par with the best companies in 2010. So this is a great achievement for us. Another area where we measure our impact is in overall engagement. And since 2006, we've seen the engagement trending up, but rather slowly. In 2008, it took a quantum leap to 2010 to rise from 65% of all of our employees engaged to 77%. And for us, that was a terrific result.
That is quite impressive. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us. For WorldatWork, I'm Marcia Rhodes.